7 a.m. and you know what day that is? That is Thursday. That is the one day a week where we do our daily financial news just a little bit earlier. We do that, of course, because one of our weekly experts has our call at 7:30. So it's important for me to make this the first video of the day. A couple of quick announcements. Yesterday evening, I put out a couple of videos that really hopefully were inspiring and enlightening. First and foremost, I did a live stream about 3 o'clock or so talking about what the Fed said in detail. We will cover it at a small level this morning, but went in detail yesterday. And then I indicated at the end of the daily financial news yesterday that we were going to have a special guest. And we interviewed a high school teacher who was teaching in Southern California, never made more than $50,000 a year, and how he went about buying, at the time, 10 condos and earning financial freedom. I think he started in 2011, I think, so pretty good timing. Then we actually broke and we had a second conversation with the same guest, and we were talking about how he moved from condos in Southern California to multifamily out of state. If you listen to that story, there's a lot in it. Yes, the numbers are impressive. 57 units, $2 million purchase price. Sounds like he raised, sounds like there was a syndication or at least some limited partners in that deal. But when you hear that interview, I actually went back and watched it again. There's actually some lessons there. First and foremost, he talked about his first couple of apartment deals being losers. So he 1031s out of condos where he made a bunch of money into some apartments because they were cheap, and lo and behold, he lost six figures. Then kind of later, he sells those off as losers and jumps into this $2 million deal. And you can listen to that story. So lots of work still ahead of him. But really what it is, folks, sometimes when the process is working, it's okay. But yes, there are value creations in lots of areas. So I thought that second interview, almost for what wasn't said, was just as interesting. So on to the daily financial news. We'll cover what the Fed said briefly. Again, I have a 8-minute video on it yesterday. But basically, the Fed, as expected, left the talk track the same. They did say, it's fair to say, they're going to start talking about it. That was like the one subtle thing. But as we suspected, as I said just yesterday morning, I think the talk is August when they get together for their symposium or whatever they call it. That is when I think the Fed is really going to talk about tapering. So we got that one right. I thought a couple of things were very interesting. First and foremost, they pulled forward what they thought their dot plot, all this silliness. Basically, when they expect the first interest rate rise to happen, it got pulled forward a full 12 months. Last time, 2024. This time, 2023. And oh, by the way, not only sooner, but they have two interest rate rises in 2023. I believe it's going to be in 2022, late 2022. We shall see. But yes, I kind of feel like they're slow playing us, and they're just going to keep pulling that forward because they know the market doesn't like jarring moves. In addition to that, they did raise the GDP, and they raised the expectation for inflation. So, they're not totally blind. They did raise that as well. So, again, lots of stuff there. For the full details, watch yesterday's video. Next up, it is Thursday. It's been, new jobless claims. Today was a blip in the system, right? I think we've been on a trend of 6 or maybe 8 weeks where it's kind of down like that. Today bumped up. We're not going to get too nervous, too concerned. There's a lot of noise in the data as we've seen over the last 18 months together. But yeah, it went up. It had been below 400, I think, 3 weeks in a row. Jumped over 400, so 412. Last week, by comparison, 375. Expectation was 360, so the expectation was down, down, down. We got an uptick. So 1 week is no concern. We will wait for next week. There are adjustments week to week, so we will see what's going on. I did just see a couple of things in the automotive space, both from GM and Ford. We'll hit both of those now. First and foremost, Ford came out and basically said, you know what? It's going to be a pretty good year. Even though they are having to reduce shipments in production because of chips, Ford is surpassing expectations. They're going to produce less vehicles and they're going to have earnings above expectations. That would be a supply demand imbalance, folks. They are not discounting as much. They're getting better auction prices. Everything is going right for automotive because there's a lot of hungry demand for cars, and they're the only game in town. Back to GM, just kind of hit them together instead of skip around. GM is out today talking about inflation expectations on their income statement, earnings, right? Their earnings statement. This is hard to believe, but they are expecting the cost of inflation to be $3 billion in the second half. So that's a 6-month period. What is that? That's 500 million a month. Woo! That's pretty crazy. And yet, here's the kicker. We expect costs to go up $3 billion. Oh, by the way, we expect to make more money. Man, must be good to have pricing power. That is clearly to me, auto manufacturers are just like home builders. Different price points, same lending, all that stuff. People want cars, right? They were held out for a year, not as much driving, all of that. So, yeah, good time to be an auto manufacturer. So, Ford and GM, higher inflation, don't care. They are passing it on to consumers, just like Chipotle. Pay attention. This is happening. Another article I found today, which is interesting, is 7 industries. 7 industries where companies are desperate to hire people. Thought that'd be interesting. I had no idea what they would be. I would not have I probably would have gotten one of these. So we will go through those right now. Sawmills, number 1. Textile mills, and I don't know if these are in order. It just seemed like a list. So again, I'll go again. Sawmills, textile mills, long haul truckers, movers, finishing contractors. I think I'd have gotten that one. Finishing contractors, mental health practitioners, and last, veterinarians. We love our pets. People got lots of pets the last year or so. So yes, veterinarians. Next up, there's an interesting article about a housing crisis 2021. Housing crisis 2021 was supposed to be, if you listen to the negative channels, all about evictions and foreclosures. Neither happened. What is an issue is going to be what I talk about, housing affordability. And if you wrinkle in housing affordability with the K-shaped recovery, it is very obvious that some people were able to save and kind of skate through this 14 months unscathed with a bigger savings, and others had to dip in. Really what this comes down to is owning assets like your home, like a single family rental, is a good thing. If you owned rental units in most cases, you are coming out of this in better position. They actually talked about a property manager in Houston, Texas. This got me. They were down, get this, $1.4 million from unpaid rent. That's a lot. 1.4 million in unpaid rent over the last 14 months. In the last 45 days, they have collected $1 million, and they expect to collect at least half of the remaining 400. So again, rent's being paid up. Certainly most of that's coming from the government in this $5 billion, but still, we're getting to the other side of this. Not going to have the foreclosure crisis, likely not going to have the eviction crisis in any great number. But yes, housing affordability in the K-shaped recovery is real, right? So pretty cool. Next up, I don't usually look at gold, but I accidentally hit the link on CNBC and I waited for it to come up. Gold's down 4% today. That's interesting, right? Gold really never took off, at least not that I saw. No, don't really look at it, as I've just said. But yeah, gold to be down 4% in 24 hours. That's not usual. So in the end, that's what I got for you. So again, we got Jonathan Twomley hopefully here in a minute. Just want to wish you a great day. Today's a great day to make some money. Just have some fun, make some memories, enjoy the summer, and take care of yourself, everybody. Bye.